Jon Jones. Although one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time, demons have followed him wherever he goes, sometimes making him be seen as a real-life monster. Jones' biggest criticism comes around his repeated legal issues and failed drug tests, which have severely tarnished his reputation and legacy. Today we dive into Jon's dark past and dissect what exactly are these controversies and why some people see him as a real-life monster. On the date of May 19, 2012, Jon Jones was driving his Bentley GT when he lost control and collided with a pole. The incident caused significant damage to his vehicle. Thankfully, he was not injured in the accident. But Jon was charged with a DUI. He eventually pled guilty to the DUI charges and was ordered to pay a fine. Not to mention, participate in the victim impact panel and complete a drug and alcohol abuse program. Following his arrest, Jon issued a public apology and expressed regret for his actions. This was Jon's first incident with the law, but certainly not his last. On April 26, 2015, around 11 a.m. in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Jon was involved in a hit and run. A witness at the scene saw the crash and observed Jones fleeing on foot. They provided a description of Jon and told the police what happened during the situation. When police arrived at the scene, they searched Jon's vehicle that had a marijuana pipe with marijuana inside and also identification that identified Jon. These pieces of evidence led to authorities sending out a warrant for his arrest. Jon eventually turned himself in. The UFC was quick to respond to the news, expressing their disappointment, and just in 2 days after the incident, stripped Jones of his belt. And along with stripping his title, they also suspended him indefinitely. On the night of March 24, 2016, Jones was pulled over by an Albuquerque police officer. The officer claimed Jones was drag racing. The incident between Jones and the police officer was pretty intense, with Jones denying allegations. But the incident was captured on a police body cam. Due to the many citations, Jones was found to have violated the terms of his probation and turned himself in to the authorities. On March 29th, he was jailed briefly before appearing in court, where the judge ordered him to complete a driver improvement course and a curfew. Many people think Jones was let off easy and should have faced a longer penalty. On June 16, 2016, Jon was tested positive for a banned substance by USADA. This led to the cancellation of his scheduled rematch against Daniel Cormier at UFC 200, which was set to take place July 9, 2016. Dana White, the president of the UFC, expressed disappointment and frustration regarding the positive drug test. White publicly criticized Jon and expressed the impact it had on the event, and described the situation as devastating and suspended Jon for 1 whole year. Almost a year later, after Jon Jones knocked out Daniel Cormier in UFC 214, Jon was tested positive again for another steroid. The result was later overturned to a no contest, and Jones was stripped from his title again. He was given a 15-month suspension and promised the public he would do better. On March 26, 2020, around 1 a.m., Jon was pulled over by the police for signs of intoxication and firing a handgun. During a traffic stop, officers found a handgun with a spent shell casing. He also was charged with possession of an open container of alcohol and not providing insurance. Jones was taken into custody and booked at the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he was later released on bond and also released a public apology and remorse for his actions. On September 24, 2021, Jones was arrested for domestic violence and vehicle tampering. This took place in Las Vegas right after he was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. This incident involved his wife, and according to her testimony, she was left bloody. He allegedly assaulted her inside their hotel room with their children present. Jones was charged with a misdemeanor, domestic violence, and tampering with a vehicle. Charges were later dropped, resulting in a small fine and court fees. At the end of the day, the question is very perspective. Do you see Jon as a monster, or just a normal guy trying to make his way? You decide.